Gentleman yields back. Ms. Bice is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank the board for being with us this afternoon. I'm grateful for the work that you and your employees do to keep the Capitol complex safe for members, for staff, and certainly for visitors. However, following up on Mr. Griffin's line of questioning, I am concerned about the separation agreement with former acting Chief Pittman and how it was handled. It appears she was given the ability to go on leave without pay status with Capitol Police to attain the necessary 20 years of service required for federal retirement benefits while simultaneously beginning a new lucrative job with UC Berkeley. And so I want to start with this. General Gibson, you stated earlier in your testimony that personnel issues for the United States Capitol Police were under the purview of the Chief of Police. However, Madam Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a page from the Cap Police Board GAO report dated February 2017, which lists roles and responsibilities for the Capitol Police Board and the Chief of the U.S. Capitol Police. And under this, the human capital roles includes issuing waivers to mandatory retirement provisions for Capitol Police officers, as well as determining the leave system for Capitol Police personnel. And it does state, in fact, the board establishes the uniform policy. Madam Chair, thank you. Mr. Chairman, my apologies. General Gibson, the Capitol Police Board is required by statute to implement a uniform policy, correct?
Yes, policy, but not we do not get involved in the application of the policy to individuals within the department, unless it is a termination.
Do you believe that the policy for leave has been applied uniformly in this particular situation?
Yeah, so Ms. Bice, it would be difficult to say if it's applied uniformly without understanding how it's been applied across the board. And Ms. Pittman, or former Chief Pittman's separation is the only one I'm aware of like that, because again, this is not a matter that the board has been personally involved in.
Mr. McFarland, if I could ask you, do you believe that do you agree with the interpretation that the United States Capitol Police have the unilateral authority to place employees on leave without pay?
Policies, yes. The chief is responsible for administrating the policy, while the board and the oversight committees look at the regulations. So, yes.
Ms. Rexroth, I know that this is a little bit of a foreign topic for you, as you've only been acting for a short time, but.
Yeah, so it would be hard for me to answer that one without the full details, and I don't have the full details, so I apologize.
So this is my concern. We mentioned at the beginning of this hearing that we've worked hard to improve processes and sort of, clarify issues, come together. But on this particular topic, I think there's disagreement. It's very clear that there's sort of this. We're not quite sure. We think the board can, but the board has the ability, the chief can unilaterally make these decisions. It doesn't seem like there's real clarity on whether or not this policy has been put in place uniformly across the board. And I have concerns about that. I want to also talk about the non-disclosure agreements, if I may, Chief. It's been widely reported that at least one former U.S. Capitol Police signed a non-disclosure agreement when he left, and additionally, former Officer Pittman also signed a separation agreement prohibiting her from sharing that information. This committee has actually asked for a copy of that agreement, and we have been given a summary, but actually not a copy of the agreement. The reason given was that Ms. Pittman was prohibited from doing so in the agreement. Would you be willing to offer this agreement to this committee to be able to review?
The summary has absolutely everything that's included in the agreement.
Would you be willing to give us a copy of the actual agreement that was signed by Ms. Pittman and yourself and legal counsel?
I'd have to go check with my general counsel before I answered that.
Okay. Mr. Chair, my time is almost expired, so at this time I yield back.
Gentlewoman yields back. Ms. Lee is recognized for 5 minutes.